we were here.
We begin Kol Nidre service tonight with a faux lighting.
Thank you.
Abides within by the flame of conscience. On this sacred night, we search for truth, flame of healing and forgiveness,
giving us the mitzvah of bringing light on Yom Kippur.
For sure.
All right, get back to the rabbi, please, Chris.
Tonight on this Kol Nidre 5783, we connect into the mysterious ancient rituals of our direct ancestors. Being a descendant myself of the priesthood, the Kohanim, I offer you the prayer of the Kohen Gadol. This is exactly what was said thousands of years ago, but translated into English, of course. May it be your will, Lord our God and God of our ancestors, to grant us, with all your people Israel, a year of blessing, a year of corn and wine and oil, a year of prosperity, a year of assembly in your temple, a year of abundance, of happy life, of dew and rain and warmth, of ripening fruits, a year of atonement for our sins, a year in which you bless our food and drink, a year of commerce, a year of plenty and joy, a year in which you bless the fruit of the womb and the fruit of the land, a year in which you show us your compassion, a year of peace and tranquility. I think we would probably even come up with the same blessings thousands of years later today in 2022. As we move through the service, may you contemplate each one of these blessings, knowing that we are, every one of us, links in the unbroken chain from the very first Yom Kippur until tonight. Please join me in the Shehecheyanu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'hidyanu Lazman hazeh. Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, giving us life, upholding the life within us, and bringing us to this time. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance and joy for the pure of heart. With one voice, assembled sages, past and present, declare, all may pray as one on this night of repentance.
Chris,
let none be excluded from our community of prayer. With one voice, God and congregation proclaim, all may pray as one on this day of return. Let all find a place in this sacred assembly. We begin the series of Kol Nidre,
Did you
which
start
will
it?
be
Yes, I
3
did.
times
Then
by the
I
time
have no
we
idea.
complete it.
I don't know anything about that.
Kol Nidre Besarle Vacharame Vekaname Vechinuye Vekinosei Ushvuot Darna Udishtavanna Udacharimna Edasarna Al-Nashatana Yom Kippurim Zeh Al Yom Kippurim Haba Aleinu Letova Kul sharan shvikin shviti beteli umvutali la sharirin vela kayami Ve'asarana la'esare u'shavuatana la'shavuot.
I'm even getting sounds. There's a little bit of a delay on it, I think.
Please join me in reading all vows resolved.
Okay, then. Things are
All vows, resolves, and commitments, vows of abstinence and terms of obligation, sworn promises and oaths of dedication, that we promise and swear to God and take upon ourselves from this day of atonement until next day of atonement, may it find us well. We regret them, and for all of them we repent. Let all of them be discarded and forgiven, abolished and undone. They are not valid, and they are not binding. Our vows shall not be vows. Our resolves shall not be resolves. And our oaths, they shall not be oaths. just heartbreaking rendition of Kol Nidre to get us in the mood for our prayers and our fasting this next 24 hours. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi. And what an amazing way to open what we like to call modern services built on Jewish tradition. And now you see why we had Kol Nidre to the Max Lewandowski, the original traditional, right, and Max Bruch, who wrote the piece for piano and cello. So we wrote our own. Kind of audacious, right? We thought we'd have a little something that tells a story of what Yom Kippur is all about. And I gotta get wired back up.
forgiven, the entire community of Israel and the stranger who lives in their midst, for all have gone astray in error. Moses prayed to God, "As you have been faithful to this people ever since Egypt, please forgive their failings now, in keeping with your boundless love." And God responded, "I forgive, as you have asked."
Please rise for the bar of food. Blessed are you, O God, one who loves your people Israel, and blessed are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk.
Don't forget who you are,
And stronger than the enemies in our hearts, wickedness and sin. Carry us to safety as on wings, for you are the monarch of grace, the sovereign of compassion. You are the one who cares for us and sets us free. Watch over us, we who go forth to life. Watch over us, that we may come home in peace, now and till the end of time. God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. It was King David who cried out these words at what was probably one of the lowest points in his life. One night in Jerusalem, King David was walking on his rooftop when he spotted a beautiful woman bathing nearby. David asked his servants about her and was told she was Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, one of David's mightiest soldiers. Despite her marital status, David summoned her to the palace, and they slept together. Bathsheba later discovered she was pregnant, and she informed David. His reaction was to attempt to hide his sin. David commanded Uriah to report back to him from the battlefield. Bathsheba's husband dutifully answered David's summons, and David sent him home, hoping that Uriah would sleep with Bathsheba and thus provide a cover for the pregnancy. Instead of obeying David's orders, Uriah slept in the quarters of the palace servants. refusing to enjoy a respite with Bathsheba while his men on the battlefield were still in harm's way. Uriah did the same thing the next night as well, showing integrity in sharp contrast to David's lack thereof. When it became apparent that David and Bathsheba's adultery could not be covered up that way, David enacted a second, more sinister plan. He commanded his military leader, Joab, to place Uriah on the front lines of battle and then to purposefully fall back from him, leaving Uriah exposed to enemy attack. Joab followed the directive, and Uriah was killed in battle. After her time of mourning, Bathsheba married David and gave birth to a son. But the thing David had done displeased Adonai. When David and Bathsheba's child was born, the Lord sent a prophet Nathan to confront King David. Nathan used a parable. A rich man took a poor man's only sheep and killed it, even though he had many flocks of his own. David, a former shepherd, was so angered by the story, which he thought was true, that he responded, "As surely as the Lord lives, the man who did this must die. He must pay for that lamb 4 times over, because he did such a thing and had no pity." Nathan pointed to David and uttered the chilling words, "You are that man." David was the one guilty of the sin, and judgment would be upon his house in the form of ongoing violence. David repented, and Nathan said, "The Lord has taken away your sin.
You are not going to
You
die.
are not going to die.
But because by doing this you have shown utter contempt for the Lord, the son born to you will die. That moment it was very clear for King David to see how wrong and sinful he was. It was then that he turned to God and said, Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. A week later, the child died. And in later years, David's household experienced further hardship. In total, 4 of David's sons suffered untimely deaths. The 4 times over judgment David had pronounced upon himself. All of us do the wrong things sometimes. It's very hard to recognize or to have the courage to make it better. So it was for King David. He needed help opening his mouth so words of praise could come out. During these days it is our hope. You will ask Adonai to open your mouth, so you will be able to do the right thing. Only then will you truly be able to sing God's praises. Please rise.
Open up,
Be seated. O God, you are our eternal strength, the giver of life, the power that saves us. You nourish the earth. Your love sustains the living. Your great compassion brings life to all. Help to the fallen, healing to the sick, freedom to those in captivity, and faith to those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of strength? Who is equal to you, bringer of life and death, source of salvation? Who is like you, source of mercy? We trust in you, who give life to all. Blessed are you, source of all life.
Shalom Ram, Shalom Ram, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Ram, Shalom Ram, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. We were all made from love, and to love will return. You will keep singing love. We will always be heard. So give me a breath, and together we'll stand with you. every voice and let us behold. Beat every heart, feel every soul. Sing every voice and let us behold. Shalom, Shalom, Yisrael, Tashivei Olam. Shalom, Shalom, Yisrael, Tashivei Olam. Shalom,
Beautiful and wonderful. I just thought of when we were listening to the story about King David, I was reminded about a week ago I was scrolling through social media and I came upon a Jewish comedian, and he was saying, he started off his act by saying that he was a terrible Jew. I'm a terrible Jew. He never goes to temple, he said. And then he continues, he said, no, the worst Jew is Bernie Madoff. And then he says, no, the worst Jew is Harvey Weinstein. No, the worst Jew is Jeffrey Epstein. And then he goes, you know what? I'm the best Jew. So, try not to compare yourselves to anyone but yourself, but it definitely gives you an idea of where to start. On the subject of comedians, I recently heard another comedian discussing how annoying different religions can be when they are trying to convert you. He mentions the Jehovah's Witnesses, who come knocking on your door, invading your personal space. After a few others, he comes to tell his audience how he appreciates the Jews. Not only are they not out there trying to convert you all the time, that little detail about cutting off a piece of your privates doesn't usually bring people running to convert. No thanks, I'll pass, the comedian says, as the audience erupts in laughter. As a rabbi, I get it, because aside from our ancient rituals that define us, rabbis are instructed to turn potential converts away. They are not completely shut out. There is a tradition of being turned away 3 times. There is wisdom in this approach. Converting to Judaism is anything but easy. There are educational components that take a lifetime. And if you are of the male persuasion, physical requirements. Not an easy decision. People can laugh all they want to, but our ancient rituals have proven to last the test of time. The Yom Kippur ritual detailed in the Torah portion we read on Yom Kippur of fasting and atonement occurred around 3,500 years ago. Circumcision made its debut over 4,000 years ago. I think that it's nothing short of amazing that we are sitting here today reenacting the original Yom Kippur ritual led by Aaron, the high priest. Mostly intact, minus the goats and the bulls for sacrifice. After all, the temple is no longer standing. Yet as people, we have prevailed. I believe wholeheartedly that our existence here today can be traced back to our adherence to rituals, no matter how difficult the ritual, like fasting, circumcision, kashrut, and even repentance. I would even posit that the more difficult the ritual, the more strictly we have kept it. Because of my strong faith in the power of rituals, I have developed over my rabbinate ways in which I incorporate ancient Jewish rituals into modern life. I'd like to share one example of this. I have only ever shared this story one time. It touches me so deeply that I wanted to share it with you. A few years ago, I reached into my mailbox and took out the obvious mail. I didn't see anything else in the mailbox, but I decided I would give it one last swoosh and dig down a bit deeper, grazing the bottom for any small letters that I didn't see. When I reached my hand in and swiped toward the bottom, I felt a small piece of paper. I took it out. It was a bit bigger than a bookmark, and I wasn't sure how long it must have been sitting there. Weeks, maybe. It was from the American Red Cross. What caught my attention was the name and the picture at the bottom of the paper. It was our neighbor's son, Cameron Hurwitz. They lived down at the end of the street from us, and we had met them on a few occasions. They are a Jewish family. The piece of paper that Cameron's picture was on was an announcement to let us know that there would be a blood drive for Cameron in order that he could continue to have blood transfusions, since he had recently developed aplastic anemia. Aplastic anemia occurs when your body stops producing enough new blood cells. Cameron didn't produce any. I had seen Cameron's mom numerous times since then. Mostly we wave at each other as she drove down the block. I had no idea the family was dealing with this kind of shock and illness. The blood drive had already occurred, and I felt terrible, just so terrible. I called the mom to see if there was anything at all that we could do. It was almost Yom Kippur. I was about to offer to bring dinners over, or perhaps go grocery shopping for her. Any little thing that might help them out, as Cameron was not able to be around people and had been out of school for months. They were not optimistic that he would be able to return to school in the fall. But much to my own surprise, instead of offering the dinners and groceries, I said, "Hey Karen, I know this might sound a little weird, but I was wondering if you think Cameron would be into a special and ancient Jewish ceremony." I continued, "Traditionally, when a Jew gets very sick, it's customary to change your name. I've done a lot of baby naming ceremonies, but I think it would be great if Cameron could get a new Hebrew name, which will symbolize a new life." I didn't want to tell her right then and there that the purpose of the name change was to confuse the angel of death so that Cameron would be spared. So I stuck with my story of hope and resilience. She said she would ask Cameron about the name-changing ceremony. To be honest, I wasn't sure how they would react. As Karen is a practicing Christian, I wasn't sure what their level of religious observance was. But then again, I don't judge stuff like that. To me, they are simply a Jewish family living on my street. A few minutes later, my phone rang. It was Karen, telling me that Cameron was really excited about getting a new Hebrew name. I told her about the possibility of giving him the name Yisrael, Israel. I briefly told her about the story in Genesis, about how Jacob prevailed against the night angel and won that struggle, and how the night angel changed his name from Jacob to Israel. Israel meaning one who prevails with God. After we hung up the phone, I was truly incredulous. For a young kid to be so open and willing to participate in a relatively unknown ancient Hebrew ceremony was extraordinary. But I was just beginning to learn how extraordinary Cameron truly is. Not only did Cameron agree to it, he immediately set about searching for his own Hebrew name. When we talked again to set up a time and place for the ceremony, Cameron had already chosen his Hebrew name. I was moved to hear that he would be named after his grandfather who passed away, Yerachmiel Alevi, meaning God will have compassion. We would, in a way, be mirroring the Yom Kippur ritual in the Torah. Aaron himself from the tribe of Levi, just like Cameron's grandfather, Yerachmiel HaLevi, in the Torah. Aaron performs the rituals after his 2 sons die. Here, I had a Jewish father from the Levi tribe praying for his son's life. The night of the ceremony, I brought out a Judaica copper washing bowl, and that very day I had just come from witnessing a conversion at the mikveh, where I filled a Tupperware container full of mikveh water in order to use it for Cameron's naming ceremony. The Hurwitz family walked over to our home. Cameron's father brought his special Kiddush cup, his own talit, and that of his father's. The boys, Cameron and his brother, were wearing kippot. We were ready to do this. Cameron sat on a chair with his feet in the basin. The talitot were draped around and behind him, the mikveh water waiting, still to be poured over his feet. Ancient blessings filled the air with song as Cameron received his new name. He would now be known among his people as Yerachmiel HaLevi Yisrael. His mother, father, and brother each took turns pouring the mikveh water over his feet, blessing him with words of hope and resilience. His father, most of all, connecting his new identity to that of his own father and our forefather Jacob, whose name became Israel, when he prevailed over the night angel and strove with God. Blessings were poured over him, hopes that he will begin to produce his own blood cells, that he will soon return to school, and good health. Blessings that no matter what, his family is there for him, that they love him. And while Cameron's father got down on his knees and poured the last bit of mikveh water over his feet, he became a link in that unbroken chain, saying, "The Hurwitzes prevail, we always prevail." Sometimes I get caught in the trap when I think Judaism doesn't matter in people's lives anymore. Yet I am certain I have never in my life witnessed anything so moving, so meaningful than that special night. That living Judaism unfolding before my very eyes, a family praying, literally praying for their child's life. Surrounded by ancient customs, ancient ritual objects, calling upon his grandfather Yerachmiel's presence to be a witness, and adding the name Yisrael. My Yom Kippur message to you this year is that we follow Aaron the high priest's example of prevailing in the face of extreme difficulty by making use of Jewish rituals. Go down on your knees like Cameron's father and pray to God as if life depends on it. We are all links in that unbroken chain of ritual. Cameron is now healthy, thank God. He received a bone marrow transplant not long after the naming ceremony. Thank God it went really well. In more recent news, he went on to have his bar mitzvah in Israel while on a birthright trip last year. Judaism, through Jewish ritual, has cleaved to him, and I believe it will be a part of his life forever. The High Holy Days are the only time a Jew bows down completely with our faces touching the floor. At some point during the next 24 hours, please reenact this ancient ritual. It can be done anywhere. Rituals have power. It is up to us to perform them. Only then can we harness their power. May you have an easy and meaningful fast. King Hiratson.
Beautiful words, Rabbi. Thank you so much. As always, powerful message.
Yerulerotzon, Imrefi, V'giyom Levi, Levanecha, Yerulerotzon, Imrefi, V'giyom Levi, Levanecha, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Begoali, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Begoali.
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer.
Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Begoali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri,
This next prayer, the Vidui, the confession, is one of the highlights, one of the most important parts of Yom Kippur. And please take your right hand. So if you don't know how to do this, every one of us will show your neighbor. You take your right hand. This is for the next page, but when we say that we regret something, that we're guilty, etc., every time we give a little zetz to our chest like that. And definitely make yourself feel it, don't knock yourself out on the floor, but not super lightly either. So please join me in the English reading, the confession of Vidui. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. By evil, we lie, we ridicule, we disobey, we abuse, we defy, we corrupt, we commit crimes, we are hostile, we are stubborn, we are immoral, we kill, we spoil, we go astray, we lead others astray. I didn't see everyone doing it, so now in the Hebrew, just repeat after me, and every time you beat your chest. Okay. Ashamnu, Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu Dofi, Helinu, Behirshanu, Zadnu, Chamasnu, Tafalnu Sheker, Yatsnu Rav, Kizavnu, Latsnu, Maradnu, Miyatsnu, Sararnu, Avinu, Hashanu, Sararnu, Kishinu Oreth, Rashanu, Shichatnu, Tiavnu, Tainu, Titanu.
mark. Could have done it better. Wanna be the best I can be. When I've gone off track, when I start to waver, ask forgiveness 'cause I'm sorry. Ahei shechatanu lefanecha. I am sorry for these things. Ahei shechatanu lefanecha. On Yom Kippur I sing. So I'm looking deep inside to my heart, and if I've hurt you, ask for strength to say I'm sorry. I will think about it all. Please forgive me, Kapelanu. I'm gonna try to be the best that I can be. Ahei shechatanu lefanecha. I am sorry for these things. Ahei shechatanu lefanecha. On Yom Kippur I sing. On Yom Kippur I sing. On Yom Kippur I sing.
Beautiful, thank you. It's time now to do sort of a inverted Ashangu Vidui. These are the positive things that we've done in the past year. Please join me in reading. We have loved, we have blessed, we have grown, we have spoken positively, we have raised up, we have shown compassion, we have acted enthusiastically, we have been empathetic, we have cultivated truth, we have given good advice, we have respected, we have learned, we have forgiven, we have comforted, we have been creative, we have stirred, we have been spiritual activists, we have been just, we have longed for Israel, we have been merciful, we have given full effort, we have supported, we have contributed, we have repaired. Please rise for Aleinu.
Sovereignty, destiny, union, Adonai, Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekula, liyotzei b'reshit, shelo asad u'ziguyeh ha'ratzon, velo saman b'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam, chakenu kalem, v'goralenu ki ho'hamona, v'anachnu going, u'bishtalchavim, u'modim, v'nei melech melchei
shy, Joel, for those of you who know. We think not.
Good evening and good Yantif. The Kaddish is an ancient prayer and very important because it links the generations, it binds the generations from one to another. I'd like I'd like to share a reading with you by a very famous poet named Merritt Malloy. As I read the words, take a moment to think about the people who you loved who are no longer here, and remember them with each word. When I die, if you need to weep, cry for someone walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around others and give them what you need to give me. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands and souls touch souls. You can love me most by sharing your joys, multiplying your good deeds. You can love me most by letting me live in your eyes, not in your mind. And when you say Kaddish for me, remember what our Torah teaches. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Together, Yizkadal v'Yizkadash Shemei Rabah, v'Yalma Divrach Rutei v'Yamlich Malchutei, v'Chayechon v'Yomechon v'Chayei Kol Beit Yisrael, v'Gala v'Zman Kari v'Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabah Mebarach Le'olam U'omei U'mayah. Yitbarach v'Yishtabach v'Yitpahar v'Yitramam v'Yitnaseh. V'Yithadar v'Yithaleh v'Yithalal Shmei v'Yishah Rechu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Damiram v'Yalma v'Imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'Yal Kol Yisrael. V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'Ramav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu v'Yal Kol Yisrael. V'imru Amen. May their memory always be for a blessing.
close to the end of this service, I want to invite you to stay for Yizkor, short service, memorial service. Thank you all for being here. It means a lot to each and every one of us, and I'm going to first off start by thanking the Rabbi. Amazing job. Rabbi Smookler, it's such a pleasure to always be with you, and we're fortunate enough that we get to be with you a lot. So, and I'm going to go through the band also. Dan Ruda on bass. Every once in a while you get to clap. I know it's a solemn holiday. If you want to, you can. You don't have to. Or you can go like this. Do this. You can do that. I'm not asking for that. Anyway, there it is. We'll get the snap. I'll come back to you later. Howard Swartz on Congo back here. Rick Lipson on the drums down. Aaron Martyr. And Marissa Brooks. Yeah, Marissa. Greta Bolton. Stephanie, you're back there. Stephanie Pollard, our great reader. Who I've missed? Oh, Nancy. Nancy Good. There she is. Thank you so much. And so, let's see.
And Peter Levin. And I know he hates when we do this, but the man who spends more time working on this than any of us put together.
So as we wrap up here, I want to remind you all, most of you are already on our email list. You wouldn't be here, I guess. You like us on Facebook, you wouldn't be here, I guess, right? So hopefully you'll come to some of our Shabbat services as well, the Shabbat experience. If you like this, it's a quick 45 minutes to an hour. You get some great music, you get a great message from the rabbi, and just feel good. Great way to enter Shabbat and a great way to leave the week behind. I want to invite up Scott Menaker. In fact, can I steal your microphone? Yeah, he's not going to come all the way up. I'm going to hand him a mic. He told me that he didn't feel like coming all the way up like Joel did. Here we go. You have to roll up here. So Scott's got a few words for you.
So last week I spoke about how wonderful the Rosh Hashanah service was, and the one piece that I left out, as I was comparing them to some of the biggest synagogues in the country, is the fact that these people, all of them, including the rabbi, do all of this out of the goodness of their hearts. They're not paid. They're doing this after work and coming to practice and doing all of those things. So we're really blessed. A wonderful, wonderful lead into our day of fasting. And thank you for sharing with us. I get to always ask for some funds, and I would be remiss if I didn't say we've made some cards out front. The people that said to me after the last service, how do we give and how do we make it easy? So we got cards out front. If you didn't pick it out on the table, there's a QR code. You can scan it. You can go to the Ruach band.org. And there's a direct link to a PayPal account that you can donate as much as you like. We're blessed. We wish you a very, very wonderful holidays, a good fast, and thank you again, everybody, for all that you all do.
Thank you. Thank you. And while the microphone gets put back, there are two names that are not on this stage tonight that make this happen, that are every bit as tireless. I'm tired all the time, not just tireless. I'm tired. Anyway, I'm tired. Anyway, two folks. One is way up high up there. It's Robert Combs. He's the guy that handles sound. He's up there assisting the folks here. And the other is Lisa Dale. You see all these graphics and I can't even begin to tell you all the stuff she does. Phenomenal. Thank you so much. With that, we're going to end tonight, or at least this part of the service, the Kol Nidre service, with a song of perseverance. And this is about strength to move forward. We've done this before, and it's all about being able to rise up. We started Rosh Hashanah with We Rise, and we're going to end this part with Rise Up. Andre Day said, who wrote this song? You probably all know it. He don't know, you know it, because you've seen it, heard it in commercial films. But she said, if you can rise up and you can take one step, then it's easy to take the next, and the next, and then you can keep moving forward. And that's what our life is all about. It's about moving forward. It's about change, and it's about dealing with that change.
Broken down and tired, living life on the merry-go-round. You can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we're gonna walk it out. Move mountains, we're gonna walk it out. Move mountains, and we'll rise up, we'll rise like the day, we'll rise up, we'll rise unafraid, we'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up, high like the waves, we'll rise up, inside of the ache, we'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, and the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll bring the world to its feet. Move mountains, we'll bring it to its feet. Move mountains,
Yes. The rabbi has sung. How many of you have printed copies, or at least downloaded it? Maybe? Yeah. Okay. Rabbi was worried. And we'll get started with Yizkor in just a second.
Yom Kippur, everyone, have an easy fast. Thank you for joining the Ruach Community for the Yizkor service. Yizkor is the communal service for those who have experienced the death of a loved one. This is an intimate moment for you to connect, and we hope that you find the service meaningful and fulfilling. To help guide you through the service, here's some helpful background information. Originally, Yizkor was recited only on Yom Kippur. Its purpose was to remind us to ask forgiveness on behalf of those who could not. The mood of the service also added to the solemnity and sanctity of the day. During the Middle Ages in the Ashkenazi tradition, the Yizkor service was added to the last days of the pilgrimage festivals, since the Torah readings on those days emphasized tzedakah. Anyone who has lost a parent recites the Yizkor service. Traditionally, Yizkor is not recited by children during the first year of mourning, as the memory is too fresh and the wound is too raw. One of the reasons people leave is because there's a superstition that if you, God forbid, stay, your parents might die because you've stayed in the Yizkor service. That's not proven to be true in any way. I've never heard any tales of that, so please remain. We have many of our Jewish brethren and sisters who have died not only in the Holocaust, in the land of Israel, in wars in our country, and we stay for them as well. We extend our warm and sincere condolences to all who have lost near and dear ones this past year. May the Holy One heal your wounds, lighten your burden and sorrow, and give you renewed strength and consolation in the years ahead. For those who have either the download or the hard copy, please join me on page 4. Eternal God, in whose eyes 1,000 years are but as yesterday, in whose hands are the souls of the living and the dead. In your sight every soul is precious. O Lord, from whom we come, to whom we belong, and to whom we shall return. Strengthen us as we now remember our loved ones who have been reunited with you. Be with us as we consecrate this hour to the memory of the departed. We skip a few pages to page 7. I'm going to read a few traditional psalms in the Hebrew, and you can go through the English if you want on your own. I'm just going to read the second and third psalms in Hebrew. Adonai ma'adam v'teda'ehu, ben enosh v'techadshe'ehu, adam lahevel dama, yamav ketzel over, baboker yatzitz v'chalav, le'erev yimolel v'yavesh, limnot yamenu, kain hoda v'navi levav chokhmah. This next one is one that I have recited at countless funerals. I would say that I almost know it by heart. Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamid, ki mimini bal emot, lachen samach lipi v'yagel, kavodi af basari yishkon lavata. And together the last part in English. God is always before me, page 7, at my right hand, lest I fall. Therefore I am glad, made happy, though I know that my flesh will lie in the ground forever. Please join me on page 10 at the top, for those of you who have a copy or a download. We recall with grief the martyrs of our people who perished through the cruelty of the oppressor, victims of demonic hate, the aged and the young, the learned and the unlettered, driven in multitudes along the road of pain and pitiless death. They lie in nameless graves and far-off forests and lonely fields, and the substance of many was scattered by the winds to the earth's four corners. Yet they shall not be forgotten. We take them into our hearts and give them a place beside the cherished memories of our own loved ones. They now are ours. O Lord of light, bless the memories we cherish. Those whom we recall today are gone from us, yet we are grateful for the blessings which they brought into our lives. May the sorrows we have known be softened by our sense of your infinite wisdom, your unending love, your eternal presence. Ani ma'amin be'emunah shlema be'biat HaMashiach ve'af al pi she'yitma mea im kol ze ani ma'amin. I believe in the coming of the Messiah, although the Messiah may tarry. Please rise as you select the appropriate paragraphs for the family member that you may have lost. If you completed your special paragraph, please join me on page 15. In memory of brothers, sisters, other relatives, and friends, we read together. May God remember the soul of all of those, all of my friends and relatives who have gone to their eternal home. In loving testimony to their lives, I pledge tzedakah to help perpetuate ideals important to them. Through such deeds and through prayer and memory, are their souls bound up in the bond of life. May these moments of meditation link me more strongly with their memory. May they rest eternally in dignity and peace. Amen. Aseh shalom b'imroma, puya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael b'imru. Amen. Merciful God, who dwells on high and in our hearts, grant perfect peace under the sheltering wings of your presence. To the souls we remember today, soldiers who have fought in Israel's wars, whether in the underground or in the IDF, who died in battle, sacrificing their lives for the sanctification of your name, for the people Israel and for the land of Israel. I'm on page 17 if you care to join me in the English, right in the middle of the page. members of the United States Armed Forces who fell in battle in defense of our country and in their mission of protecting and peacekeeping. Those of all nations and around the world who died as innocent victims of terrorism, brutality, and oppression. Our people, men, women, and children, who were slaughtered, suffocated, burned, and buried alive by the Nazis and their collaborators. May their names be blotted out, victims of hatred, who sanctified their lives for the sake of your name. Friends of the Ruach Community who have supported the holy work of this community, and all of our dearly beloved family and friends who have gone to their eternal rest. May their memories inspire us to live justly and kindly. May their souls be at peace, and may they be bound up in the bond of eternal life. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated if you completed your special paragraph. For the 6 million, I found a beautiful song written to some of the words that were at Adolf Eichmann Yamach Shemov's trial, and it's Israeli soldiers singing the song 6 Million Like Me.
במקום זה בו אני עומד לפניך היו 6 מיליון כמוני במקום זה בו אני עומד לפניך היו 6 כמוני
במקום זה, בו אני עומד לפניכם, שופטי ישראל, ללמד קטגוריה על אדולף אייכמן, אין אני לומד לבדי. תלמדים ניצבים כאן, בשעה זו, 6 מיליון צדיקים, אך הם לא יוכלו לקום על רגליהם, לשלוח אצבע מרשיעה כלפי תא זכוכית ולזעוק כלפי היושב שם, אני מאשים. לפני שאחרם נערם בין גבעות אושוויץ לשטוף בברינקה, משתק בנהרות חולים, וקבריהם פזורים על פני אירופה, לאורגן מאירופה. דמם זועק. הגדולה, זה על כן אני נתן לזה, ואני תשמע את קו התשוב היום.
במקום זה בו אני עומד לפניכם היו 6 מיליון כמוני מיליון
שולחים בה מרומים המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה. במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע מאירים ומזהירים. לנשמות חברי קהילה קדושה, בית תקווה וכל אלה שהזכרנו היום לברכה, שהלכו לעולמם, בעבור שאנו מתפללים לעילוי נשמותיהם, לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים. ויצרור ביצור החיים את נשמותיהם, אדוני הוא נחלתם, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתם, ינוחו בשלום, על משכבם ונאמר Amen. Page 19, we join together after I read it in the Hebrew Psalm 23. Well, then we'll read the English together. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai ro'i lo achzar bin od desha yarbitzeni. Almei menuchot yenahaleni, nafshi yeshovev. Yancheni v'ma'avnei tzedek l'ma'an shemo. Gam ki elech beged salmavet. Lo irara ki ata imadi. Shivtecha umishantecha. Hema yenachamuni. Ta'arov lefanai shulchan neged zorai. Tishanta v'shemen roshi. Kosi revayat. Ach tov v'chesed yirdefuni. Kol yamei chayai. V'shavti b'beit Adonai. Le'orech yamin. Together, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. God maketh me lie down in green pastures, and leads me beside the still waters, reviving my spirit and guiding me in paths of righteousness. For the sake of the divine name, yea, though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Please rise for the mourner's Kaddish. The last page. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbav v'yalma divrah yirutei v'yamlik malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon u'v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael ha'agala u'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olomei omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitaval, shmei kudusha, b'riku. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbichata v'nechamata, da'amiram v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'yimroma, huya oseh shalom, alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Please be seated. Remember that we will be doing a yard site project in the coming year. And as I said, on Rosh Hashanah, an email will be going out about how to get the Ruach Community the names and the months for our memory project. We have a Kiddush/Oneg project also going on this coming year. So we have a lot of excitement in the Ruach Community. Thank you so much for celebrating Kol Nidre with us, and may you have an easy and meaningful fast the next 20 hours? 20 hours. Fasting is fun. You just keep telling yourself that, and it works.
Do you believe in this?
I'm sure I hope you stay on tomorrow at like 2.
I believe we have
Pray to Rob, does this conclude all the services? Alright. Taking us off live. 3, 2, 1.
Ignition.